So again, I don't want to get wrapped up too much in the OAC story, but I find it fascinating because you really mentioned a couple of things that I got to experience when my boys were in junior high. Don't think there was a grade school then. If there was, they weren't good enough.
There
then,
wasn't.
But,
There
okay.
wasn't, probably.
But I knew that, that the junior high tournament in Youngstown was the pinnacle, was the best. It's one division, as far as, there's no divide up at that tournament on which school you're going to go to, what division you're going to be heading into. And my boys were decent. They were pretty good, and not placing in 2 years in those tournaments. And then looking back at those brackets and seeing who actually placed and has gone on to wrestle in college and even All-American in college. It's unbelievable. And you mentioned just the level of professionalism that is done there. They've tried to mimic certain things that's done at the high school state tournament. I even saw a comment on social media about how, at the Ohio State, the OHSAA tournament, the mats weren't alternating red and green this year like they had been. And then, of course, what does the OAC do? They do what they think is right. I'm sure. I'm not speaking for them.
We did what we've always done, because that was mimicking what OHSAA has done. So
right.
I don't know what happened this year with mats. It was a little odd, but you know what? I think we should all just be glad that we had a tournament.
Yeah.
If odd colored mats are the biggest complaint we have about the OHSAA, then I'd say we're doing pretty good.
Oh yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. We love to nitpick on social media, Twitter, and all that too, don't we? So
no, I know exactly.
I couldn't agree with you more.
About. I actually met the person that made that comment in person at an OAC tournament, and because I liked it or something on Twitter, and we had a fun conversation. So yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but the OHSAA does a phenomenal job, and the OAC's job was always to, like you said, mimic and try to be as best as we can. But really, we want to mimic the environment on a little smaller of a scale, right? 6,000 people at Cavelli and Youngstown compared to 20 something at the Shot. And the idea is that there's a lot of really good wrestlers, but sometimes anxiety can get the best of them, right? So how can we maybe remove some of that anxiety? Well, you condition them to compete at that level in that sort of environment. And you do that so many times, by the time you do it at state, yeah, it's state. It's the pinnacle of your career, But you can also say, if you're not traveling nationally and going to Tulsa and all these other places, you can be like, I've done something like this before,
right?
And those butterflies and those jitters, hopefully they're the ones that are good for you, right? Like, you're going into wrestling. You should be a little anxious and excited and stuff, but you don't need to be to the point where maybe your skills suffer because you're overthinking a little bit. So you're right on. That's what the OAC tried to do is, replicate what the product the OHSAA has and do the best possible job we can do with what we do, getting sports better in Ohio.
Yeah, and you and I crossed paths, like you said. It definitely was pre-COVID, but
yeah, I think it's at Mason.
That sounds right. Yeah, at a grade school.
Yes, sir.
Event, and I've been blessed to just cross paths with people like you, Jared, your cousin, and Zeb Miller, and the guys that Inside the Circle really kickstarted kind of this whole thing that we're really seeing. I'll be honest with you, I'm on the front lines with Ohio Mat Media, and it's taken off. It's really spiraling. It's going to be something big, and it could be whatever we want it to be. But anyways, I met you, and I was just involved with like you, like a 1099. Just let's get some video, let's get some content, and I realized in doing so that I'm seeing the future world team member, possibly. I'm seeing a future Olympian, possibly, because as I go back through the OAC archives, and they've got they've got David Taylor and Logan Stieber and all, oh my gosh, just name it, from Ohio, being such a rich sport, a state in the sport of wrestling. These guys that I don't even really know their name, let's be honest. And then you start looking around, you go, okay, yeah, this one's good. This one's good. This one's good. I could possibly be seeing the future of wrestling in this country. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we are, you know, at some percentage you are. There's some elite I got to commentate some of the state matches for junior high, and some of the scrambles, like it was college level stuff. But you know, how I've always had that in the back of my mind, right? And and it makes wrestling, watching like the Olympics, so much more fun for me, because when I watch David Taylor, or when I watch Logan Stevers wrestle at Worlds, I'm like, I'm not that much older than David Taylor. I remember when he could barely make 103 soaking wet with probably a roll of quarters in his stocks. But you know, the cool thing this year when it hit me was we did weigh-ins, and there's 6 lines for skin checks. Then you go to the 6 scales, and OAC made banners this year of all the 3-time champs and 2 times champs. And you're looking, and David Taylor, Logan Stever, you know, insert other names of folks that did some great things. And it's like, man, the product that they put out, now the kids did all the work, obviously, but because they put that out, you know, 6,000 people at the Cavelli Center got to see David Taylor before he was wearing a gold medal, an Olympic gold medal. That's pretty cool. Not many people get to say that they can do, you know, they've done that. And I think that's just a testament to how good the tournament is, right? The top talent, that's where they want to go. They know it's one division, so it's going to probably be as tough, or probably tougher for most kids, to win a junior high or grade school state title than it will be for them in high school. You know, it's pretty amazing. Even this weekend too, it was pretty cool to see Jay Jaggers and Colin Moore in the corner. They both had wrestled in the tournament, you know, won it 2 times, I think. You know, they're in a corner, and you're seeing the second generation, like they're coaching. Ryan Hurley from Akron area, he was the champ the first year when we did it in Sandusky, 1999. His son competed in the finals this year and came short just by, I think, 2 points to a really tough wrestler from South Shore, or West Shore. Sorry, West Shore. South Shore is my wrestling association. But if he would have won, that would have been the first father-son champion in OAC history. And you know, and seeing Jay Jaggers, he's a champion. He's got his little son wrestling too. So it's just so cool to see the second wave, you know. And that's what, you know, that's what that event gives us. It's just really, it's awesome.